Morning, my window on the world. Sunday morning. Wow, you can't take it away from these guys. They never stop with their tricks. So apparently Hawaii was about to be bombed. Not bombed, missiled. Intercontinental ballistic missile was expected to land on Hawaii. What's my take on this? First of all, I don't know, so let's get that out the way straight away. This is my guesstimation on the basis of the actors in the Great Game. My estimation on the basis of the actors in the Great Game and the global macro situation as it currently stands is the following. This is a dark state, aka US-based drill. It's a drill to assess reaction speeds, proliferation through mainstream media at a given time on a given day, the level of potential fear. So I should actually just read you one such tweet that gets featured on Google. So in other words, the sort of caricature tweet that's meant to represent the feelings of all those around. Bethany, my stomach dropped hearing this on the radio this morning. A feeling of pure terror. Oh, well done, Bethany. You've responded exactly as required. Thank you. Check the box. You crapped yourself. You wet the bed. And that's awesome that we were able to ensure that reaction. And there will be many like you. Hey, I'm not saying if there's a missile meant to come right down on top of my head, that I'm going to be feeling groovy and not wet the bed either. But there are certain things that are highly emotive that are designed to guarantee a certain Pavlovian emotional response, and that response is fear. Fear. It's an energy-sucking fear. That's what they want, an energy-sucking fear. And they also want to see to what extent that energy-sucking fear is proliferating beyond just Hawaii, but in the States generally and globally, so that they can monitor this. We're all interconnected. It's on the web. Everyone's on Facebook. How quick will it be pushed around? These are all drills and tests for the proliferation of shock media events, or shock dark states events that are proliferated through the other actors, that is the mainstream media. That is my guesstimation and take. What is the, everyone will say, oh, well, at least relief, it was, you know, false alarm and it didn't turn out to be. The problem with this is that there's clearly machinations and testing going on. And my supposition from this is that the likelihood or the balance of probabilities that a major false flag event is going to be precipitated in some way that will lead to some escalation of a highly intense, potentially militaristic event is higher. So there's game playing going on, there's testing going on, and there's always a reason. You don't test a toy unless you're going to play with that toy. And unfortunately, in our case, the military industrial complex is the toy. So be on red alert. We also have to contemplate where we are financially. I did a video on the Market Sniper channel. This is going out on the Reset Sniper channel about interest rates, which is very much an economic topic, showing how every major nation, it covered most of them except China, is essentially in a negative interest rate environment when you take inflation, the declared government inflation, and all of these other elements. So we're on end of days. We are on end of days financial system. The Khazarian control structure needs to reset the clock. And unfortunately, as I've warned many times before, the clock setting process to disguise the convenience of the wiping the slate clean in the, you know, the Shemitah type mentality is you create a bigger distraction, and you also do a bit of population control as well. You sprinkle it in with a bit of population control, and you do like the Russians that are still about 9 million less men than women. You obliterate a lot of soldiers, or you create a militaristic event. So my take on this is it's not just some control guy who you know saw a flock of swans flying over and thought it was a missile. This wasn't an intended drill. this was an intended drill. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump played golf all the way through it and was well primed on the fact that there would be a drama and that there was no need for him to react in any way. This was an intended drill by the real government, the dark state, and they will be monitoring and having measurements and a post-mortem in the manner that various media outlets performed, the rate at which social media platforms proliferated, etc., etc. So this is all feedback, and this is testing the system. This is a drill, and it's a precursor to a likely false flag event, potentially. That's my guesstimation. Do I know? I absolutely don't know. What I do know is history, and I've seen what's happened before. And let's be clear. Everybody loves it when they said, oh, I think there's going to be some stuff going down. And they think they've come up with a thought automatically. This is called auto-suggestion, what they're doing. When we then have a blowout, everyone said, I knew this was going to happen. Everybody wants to be the predictor. And all that's happened is you've had a number of interfaces with an entire networked globe where there's been auto-suggestions made to you by drills, by media making certain references, and slowly they give you all the 1 + 1s and you suddenly say 2 and you think you've just invented the wheel right there. Meanwhile, you've been fed all the dots so that you can join the last little line. And this is known as an auto-suggestive mechanism. So everybody thinks, oh, at some point this year there's going to be trouble going down with Iran and North Korea, one or the two, you know, and they think they're being predictive Nostradamus geniuses when in fact they've been fed in the line. There are a couple of countries like those two I just mentioned that are yet to benefit from a Khazarian central banking proliferation expansive monetary scheme that leads to perpetual inflation and a major reset and a boom. And as a result, they may need to have it democratically exported to their countries so that they too can benefit from having a Rothschild-derived central banking cartel, so that when we do the great financial monetary reset, it's all fall down together. As opposed to a few holdouts that actually have something that might still retain value. Anyway, I'm Francis, this is the Reset Sniper, and that's my take on today's drama. Speak to you all soon.